So welcome to my four-step framework to running cheap and easy Google Ads. I am so excited to share all this with you. I'm presenting it in a brand new way. So if you've seen some of my old stuff, this is going to be new. And I'm going to present for about 45 minutes-ish. I didn't quite time it, but it should be about 45 minutes. And then I'm going to open up the floor for 15 minutes at the end. Um, and you guys are in the right place if you're tired of relying on social media for leads, right? I mean, I think we can all say we're tired of social media and you want a more consistent way to attract inquiries and you want to stop stressing about the algorithm. You're also in the right place if you've tried Google Ads before but felt overwhelmed or unsure about whether they were actually working and now you want like a more simple approach to getting like a solid return on investment or ROI. And you want a reliable way to reach clients who are actively searching for you. So you can stop hustling for bookings and start attracting your ideal couples, the people who are really ready to invest in your services and you don't have to like do all this other crap. It's just like running in the background for you. You're not in the right place if you're going to be upset with me for plugging my program at the end of this or kind of during this, because my program's awesome and I'm going to plug it. You're also not in the right place if you want to rely solely on social media trends and Instagram and TikTok for your bookings, which I don't, if you're here, you're over that and you want to start relying more on Google. And you're not in the right place if you want to do a really deep dive into advanced Google Ads strategy stuff because I make it simple in here. I'm all about simplifying things and making it as easy as possible. So I'm not about, being a Google Ads genius and knowing everything under the sun about them. Like I'm all about making it really simple for you guys so that you can get them running and get a, massive return on investment. So my promise to you is I'm going to pack as much info into this free masterclass as I can within the hour. And in return, I ask that you stay focused, that you take notes, that you use these strategies, and that you are kind in the chat group and you bring a positive energy. So my tips for watching this masterclass, I really want you guys to eliminate all distractions. I want you to close out some browser tabs, put your phone on silent. And I also gave you guys a worksheet that you can use to fill out with notes. And there's a couple questions in there for you to answer. And if you don't have that, then paper and pen is fine. And I also want you to stay until the end because I have some really exciting fast acting bonuses that I want you guys to take advantage of. So during this masterclass, you're going to learn the top 3 mistakes photographers make when they try to run Google Ads. I'm also going to share a bunch of real success stories of photographers that are basically booked solid and completely changed their life and business thanks to their Google Ads. And I'm going to go over my 4-step framework for running cheap and easy Google Ads. So the fast acting bonus, I have 3 to choose from. So my first one is Price It Right. It's my online course that's you can binge in an afternoon and it comes with the cost of doing business spreadsheets. So you know exactly how to price yourself with a 3-tier pricing strategy and how to set it up so that people are really drawn towards booking your higher packages and how to raise your prices over time because I want you guys to utilize Google Ads and get rid of working with price hagglers and start working with the ideal people who are going to basically pay you enough so that you can truly profit from your business. So that's one. My next one is my Instagram 3-day challenge, which I lovingly call F the algorithm. And F the algorithm is all about basically like what are you supposed to do on Instagram when you have Google ads running in the background. You don't have to hustle and struggle on Instagram anymore when you have Google ads. So what do you do on there to kind of nurture people and also have fun on there? And that's that course. And then I also have a sales call script because if you're getting more inquiries, I want you to get on Zoom calls with these potential couples and know exactly, how to communicate your value, how to kind of upsell them without feeling salesy and gross. It includes a whole script for you to use, and then also some email templates for for like automating the whole like once they schedule a phone call with you, like these emails that go out automatically to make sure they don't no call, no show. So in the chat, I would love you to think about which one of these bonuses would be the best for you and basically either put in a 1 for price it right, 2 for the F the algorithm, or 3 for the sales call script. Like go ahead and drop those in the chat because I want to know what you guys think. 1, yeah, 3, 1 or 3, 2. Cool, cool, cool. Getting lots of all over the place. Cool. Okay, that's always good for me to know. 3, yeah. Oh, good. I just threw in the sales call script, so I'm glad you guys are choosing 3. Cool. Okay, so think about that. All right. And then I kind of want to share a little story because me and my husband are traveling to Peru for our birthdays on Monday. And I really want to basically go to all these like kind of turquoise lakes that I keep seeing on Instagram. And we're going to be in Cusco in the mountains and stuff. And I love to hike and everything. So I really want to go check out a bunch of these hikes and a bunch of these places. So there's 2 ways we could do this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to book a guided tour because they're going to pick us up from the hotel early in the morning, drive us to the trailhead while maybe we take a nap or eat some breakfast or something in the car. And then we're going to be able to take horses up to the lake, which is really cool to me because it's like at 12,000 feet, some of these above sea level, some of these hikes. So I want to just sit back on a horse and kind of like relax and not just stare at my feet through the whole hike and actually like take in all the views. And then the guides that are taking us are going to prepare some lunch for us once we get to these spots. And we're going to learn a lot about the history and the landscape and the culture while we're doing that. So I'm really excited to do these guided tours on horseback. The other option, which I didn't want to do because I didn't want to spend all this time and energy, is figuring out where the heck these Instagram images are and finding out where the trailhead is, and then figuring out how we're going to get there from Cusco. Like, are we going to rent a car or like take a taxi, and then hike up on our own and not utilize horses? I really want to do it the easy way with the horses. And then, we're going to probably have to rent trekking poles or pack them with us because it's like a huge elevation gain. We're going to have to like go to a store and make our own food. And then we also won't have the added benefit of learning from the guides. So it's really just to say, like, are you going to pay to make it fast and easy, or are you going to DIY it? And I've certainly DIY'd things in the past. I used to travel very much on the cheap in like hostels and do everything to try to save money. But I'm just at a point in my life where like the guided tour is just like, I just want to pay somebody to take me up there. So just something to think about. And for the people who don't know me, or maybe you do know me, and I'm going to share a little bit about my background because I think you can resonate with a lot of this. So my name is Megan, and I'm an elopement photographer, and I'm a business coach, and I'm really passionate about helping people build successful businesses without feeling like they're chained to social media. And I got my start in wedding and elopement photography while working as an emergency veterinarian, which was a crazy time in my life. I basically moved to Colorado and started my career as an emergency veterinarian, working overnights and weekends and holidays. And it was rough. And I quit that in 2018 to become a full-time photographer. And it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. My I got to move to my dream house in Taos, New Mexico. I've traveled the world. I make more money than I did as a doctor. And it's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about helping photographers, because I want you to experience this freedom as well. And here's some little photos of me in vet school. This was like the first dog I ever spayed. This is me. I'm pretty tall in the OR, and like me graduating and stuff. So yeah, luckily I got into wedding photography in Colorado, which is a beautiful place to be a photographer. And I definitely, hit my stride when I started focusing mostly on elopement photography. And I was doing really well. And then, the pandemic hit in 2020. And while I was kind of sitting pretty with my elopements and a pretty big savings account, thanks to my business doing so well, a lot of other photographers were really struggling in 2020. So during that time, I really, I offered a bunch of free coaching calls, and I got to know a lot of struggles and things that people were going through. And I basically created a bunch of these programs to help people book out their calendar and save up money and all that kind of stuff. So when I first started coaching, again, I just wanted people to be able to get bookings fast. And luckily I had started using SEO, a few years before. But it was during this time also that Instagram really kind of changed into the app that we see today, which is that it doesn't get people the bookings that it used to. And I'm going to show you a graph and why I love Google so much. So here's like 2019, when I was mostly getting my inquiries and bookings from Instagram. That's the red stuff here. And then I was starting to slowly kind of build up my Google inquiries with organic SEO. And then everything came to a standstill during the pandemic. And this is also when Instagram started wanting to be more like TikTok, and they introduced Reels. And this is kind of where everything has gotten harder to basically get the bookings and the inquiries that you need to have a truly successful business just by posting on Instagram. So you can see here that like my Google inquiries have always been pretty strong. You can also notice that there's kind of like a feast or famine effect. There's a seasonality to bookings. And then down here are my Instagram inquiries. And this spike is actually a spike from coaching inquiries. This was when I hadn't separated out my CRM from, my coaching and my photography stuff. So you see this Instagram spike there. But if you look around here, like my Instagram inquiries never really got above 4 or 5 a month. And then this spot in particular, I paid a social media manager to kind of take over my social media. And she's doing all the right things, like posting 5 times a week and doing reels and carousels and showing my face and engaging and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't get any bookings from Instagram during this time, but I booked like my whole calendar out from just Google inquiries. So this is why I stress how important Google is. And I say that Google is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, because Instagram has just changed so much. And you can see the change right here where it tried to turn more into TikTok. So I kind of had, and here's another, just from like 1 month where these are all my Google inquiries compared to Instagram and like a word of mouth or something. So when I was coaching photographers, I knew SEO and Pinterest was going to take a long time. It took me years to get on the first page of Colorado Elopement Photographer through organic SEO. So I needed to come up with a way for people to get bookings quickly, because Instagram just was like really hit or miss, even if you were spending all of your time and effort on there. So that's when I started in early 2021. I wanted to try something out, and I started experimenting with my clients with Google Ads. And we went through a lot of trial and error over the years. We've tweaked our strategy a lot. And I finally kind of created a strategy that has worked consistently and was helping elopement photographers get booked out quickly without having to rely on Instagram while they're kind of like building their organic SEO presence and Pinterest. And and then, I've started teaching it to wedding photographers as well. And it's just helped people get off the struggle bus in their business and basically get them on the first page of Google immediately and start getting bookings very quickly. So creating this Google Ads strategy and teaching it to the other people has helped my clients pretty much transform their businesses in ways that I never thought possible. They didn't think possible. And they've stopped scrambling for inquiries. They've stopped stressing about algorithms. And they are, booking people who are actively searching for them on Google. So again, this approach by prioritizing Google Ads, they've been able to fill their calendars with dream elopements and weddings faster than relying on social media alone, or even just period, like being able to reach these couples who are actively searching for them. It cuts down all their time and energy spent on these other methods of trying to get clients without paid ads, which a lot of time ends up being just like constantly creating free content or doing giveaways or discounting yourself or posting in Facebook groups and stuff like that. And then I also teach, a way to use numbers to kind of like, you use numbers to kind of troubleshoot your marketing strategy and your Google ads. And so it gives people a lot of confidence and a lot of consistency in their marketing. So, and then when you take away all the social media hustling and Facebook posts and giving discounts or trying to track down the like few leads that reached out to you, you get more freedom in your business to do other things. So you obviously want to, be present for your couples and not be stressing about how you haven't posted on social media for a couple of weeks or something, or maybe you want to just like rest and relax a little bit in your business. So that's what really these paid ads allow you to do. And I, mainly work with elopement and wedding photographers, but I really want to start working with other vendors as well and other photography niches. And the way I teach the strategy, which we'll go over the 4 steps, it's really kind of universal and can work for anyone, even though I primarily talk about elopements and weddings. And I just added this in because I talked to this photographer yesterday. Her name is Jen. She's a wedding and event photographer in Atlanta, Georgia, who's started using my Google Ads strategy. And just last month, she made $10,000. And then this month, we're only halfway through the month, but she's already made more than that 10K. So that means if she's running her ads at $15 a day, which is normally the budget I recommend for people to start with, she spent about $675 to make $20,000. And that's like a 30 times return on investment. And that's some of the crazy numbers that we see with Google Ads. They are simple. And they're pretty cheap, especially when compared to like Facebook and Instagram ads, which I also run. They're just a lot easier and cheaper to start and to start getting those bookings. So I've worked with tons of photographers with this strategy. Again, we've been troubleshooting it for 3 years now. We've really gotten it down to a science. And I see 3 big mistakes that photographers typically have. And mistake number 1 is just being afraid to run paid ads in general. I know it's scary. Photographers are often worried about the cost. They're already not getting a bunch of inquiries and bookings. So it can seem like, scary to waste the little money that you do have on something. It might seem complicated and intimidating to start running ads, but really when done right, they can become very consistent and a very reliable source of bookings. And again, you're looking at, like with Jen, a 30 times return on investment. There's nothing out there, not the stock market, not real estate, That's going to give you a 30 times return on investment. Like that's just wild. And it's crazy not to tap into that, right? So here's some people who have utilized, Google Ads. This photographer here was running her ad for about 3.5 months and booked 18 Montana elopements, and she was raising her prices the whole time. This photographer here was waking up to inquiries daily, which went from 0 to daily inquiries. And they're booking like her higher packages and adding on extras and stuff. So not only, are you getting inquiries, but they're quality. Like the Google inquiries are a lot better quality in my opinion than other marketing channels. And like this person got 5 inquiries in a week, again, going from pretty much 0. So that's really freaking cool. So, and my favorite part about paid ads, Google Ads, is that they don't require constant effort on your part. Like they are running in the background. You don't have to go into Facebook groups and comment hoping that somebody books you. You don't have to, do giveaways or free engagement sessions trying to hook somebody, and of course you don't have to hustle on social media. And so your inquiries aren't tied to your energy, which is huge. The ads keep running even if you're sick, if you're on vacation, if you haven't posted an Instagram in weeks or even months. Like they're still running in the background, getting people, getting their eyes on you and your services. And so it's really awesome. And yeah, they're consistent leads from people who are actively searching for you instead of just like scrolling by while they're doom scrolling on Instagram, right? And it's just not reliant on your day-to-day efforts. It's really like having this 24/7 assistant in the background, bringing clients to you so you can work on other parts of your business. You can take breaks, you can recharge, and you can still see results. So I want to introduce you to Natasha because she's one of the testimonials. So she had a really successful wedding photography business in New York that she primarily got her inquiries and bookings through like word of mouth and stuff like that. And she moved to the Pacific Northwest, which was a huge dream of hers. But she was not booking anything out there. So, and she didn't really know how to get bookings and inquiries because she was so used to like her little network of word of mouth and planner referrals and stuff like that. But I don't know if you can see, she started running her Google ads, and in 2024, she booked 120K worth of elopements, and little intimate weddings that were totally her ideal clients and her vibe. And it's all really thanks to the Google ads that she started running. She really just went from nothing, her business went from a standstill to now being really booked out. So, mistake number 2 is listening to these quote unquote Google Ads experts. And I'm not talking about me and my team. I'm really talking about the Google reps who will start hounding you when you start running your Google ads. They're going to call you, they're going to email you. And what we've learned is that they oftentimes suggest strategies that don't work for our industry. It seems to work more for like e-commerce brands and stuff like that. So they'll push more broad keywords that get you a lot of clicks, but maybe they aren't your ideal couples. They will want you to change your settings. They'll want you to really increase your budget. That's always their kind of go-to, is like, just increase your budget. And so we've had to learn the hard way over the years when a Google rep has tried to get us to do something different. A lot of times it doesn't work out. So they'll often, these Google Ads reps will, drain your budget with low quality keywords. They'll want you to make your ads too broad and you end up reaching the wrong audience. Their settings often work for e-commerce, stuff, but not for our industry where we're really just trying to book like 20 to 30 ideal couples a year. And again, they endlessly recommend increasing your budget, which sometimes isn't a bad thing. If your ads are running really well, you can increase your budget, and a budget increase directly increases your inquiries, which directly increases your bookings. But if they're recommending you do all this stuff and increase your budget, you're probably just throwing money down the toilet. So just an FYI that they oftentimes make recommendations that don't work. And then mistake number three that I see is not letting the ad run long enough. So you can start running an ad and get like immediate results. Here's somebody who booked an elopement with just her ads were up and running for 3 days. Here's somebody who booked an $8,000 wedding in 12 days and got 5 leads. So it's possible, but some people don't have that immediate success in like the first month and they get scared and they turn their ad off. So what I want to let you know is that sometimes Google Ads can take up to 3 months to really get through a learning phase and show your ads to the right people. And they require a little bit of refinement and optimization during this. But not only that, but ideal clients oftentimes, like, they're not just shooting out inquiries the second they find our website, like oftentimes the people that do that are price hagglers or ghosts, so sometimes also if you do get inquiries at first, they may not be ideal. They might be from these people who are like, saw a website, did a contact form immediately. Whereas we really want to build trust with our ideal couples, and they oftentimes take a little bit longer to make decisions, which is a good thing. We want them visiting our website multiple times and getting to know us and getting to trust us before they inquire with us. So ghosts are oftentimes people who are just firing off tons of contact forms and then they get overwhelmed and they don't reply, and those aren't our ideal people. So that's why you might see, that's why, like, especially your first month, it might be scary and you want to turn it off and you're like, this isn't for me. But if you keep with it, then you'll do great. And with booking season coming up, especially, I really want people to lean into running Google Ads. I expect to see a lot of wins before those 3 months go by, because January and February are huge booking months. And even if people aren't necessarily ready to commit right now, there are people who are Googling and trying to find their photographer and are taking their time, making that decision. So now is still the time to start running them. And I really want to stress that, like, it's the best time right now to start running ads. You can make some big wins with booking season coming up. Okay. So now let's get into my 4-step framework. It's basically identify, attract, launch, refine. I'm trying to simplify this. So step 1 is identify, and that's really about understanding who you want to reach, who you want to work with, and how they're searching on Google for your services. So this means really diving into your ideal client's mindset and uncovering the specific words and phrases they're likely typing into Google, because their searches are your keywords. And so you can use the keywords in your Google ad to target these people who are Googling, best wedding photographer in Atlanta or something, or, Hawaii elopement photographer or something. So their searches are what you get to target and what you can tell Google, like, hey, show my ad to the people who are searching these terms. Without a clear picture of who you're trying to attract, it's really easy to target way too broad of keywords and create ads that just don't resonate with people. So you really need to get into their minds and make sure that your ads are not only showing up in their search terms, but that they resonate with them. And I think people too often try to cast a really big wide net, whereas getting more specific is really the key to all of this. And the good news is your ideal couples are absolutely searching for you on Google, no matter what niche. This is just like, this is for my elopement photographers. This is like over time, a Google trend of elopements. They keep going up and up and up. So, and like weddings are just huge for Google searches. So people are using Google and they are searching for you. And you can either show up as one of their first search results or they can never find you, you know? So again, be specific with your keywords, be specific with the couples you're trying to attract, and be specific with like, you know, the locations and a bunch of different search terms that you think they might be using, including like questions and phrases and stuff like that. You can use activities, you can use adjectives like boho or Western or intimate or whatever, but like you want to be, the more specific you are with who you're trying to target and the keywords, the better. And here's, you know, some examples of people who, you know, are targeting their ideal people. And, you know, this girl got her first Yosemite booking. They booked 8 hours. They might want to do more, like 12 hours. The consult call was easy. Google is the GOAT, you know, it's her ideal couple. They found her on Google. And then over here we have another photographer who was already doing pretty well in Colorado, but wanted to be able to like increase her prices and get even more bookings. So she started running Google ads, even though she already kind of has an SEO presence. And she ended up booking a 12-hour package and somebody who wants to hike in the San Juan Mountains. And again, it's just her ideal client. And they found her with her Google ad. So step 2 is to attract. And this is where it gets to be more than just setting up a campaign. And I think a lot of people are just like, give me the step-by-step of setting up a campaign, but like there's a lot more that goes into it that I want you guys to be aware of. So once you've identified the right keywords and your ideal client, the next step is to make sure your website does a lot of the heavy lifting and the selling for you and helps them recognize that you're the photographer for them. And we do that either through your homepage or through a landing page, which is a specific page on your website that maybe talks more specifically to a location or venue or something like that. So this is all about turning those clicks from your Google ad into real inquiries. Your landing page should feel like an instant connection point. I want it to showcase your unique services. I want it to build trust. And I ultimately want it to convince people to reach out to you and inquire with you. So when someone clicks on your ad, they're already interested. They're searching very specific terms that you're targeting. And then it's up to your website to really sell your services. And that's what's also why I think so many Google inquiries end up being really ideal clients. Like not like Instagram. I feel like I get a lot of like price shoppers and ghosts through Instagram because, you know, on Instagram, maybe they don't really look at your website, whereas somebody on Google truly is. And so not only are you running these Google ads in the background 24/7 to get people to see your website, but then your website is selling you as well. So your website sells for you by building trust with social proof and testimonials. You want to include some unique selling points that set you apart from your quote unquote competition. You know, like if you love Harry Potter or something, put that on there. You know, I've attracted people just because I own a pit bull and I like turquoise jewelry. You know, like you never know how people are going to connect with you, but you want to make sure that you include your personality and your uniqueness on your website so that they can connect. You want strong, clear headlines of where you are, you know, based and what your services are and where your services are. You want some stunning images, of course, and then you want clear calls to action to inquire with you through your contact form. So step 3, after you really identify your people and then create and make sure your website is ready to convert them, this is when you launch your ad. So it's time to set your Google Ads campaign into motion. And again, you're going to want your ad to speak directly to your audience, and it uses a combination of headlines and descriptions. So this is what your ad will look like when it shows up on the first page for the keywords that you're targeting. It's going to have your address, your website address. It's going to have a headline, and then it's going to have a description. And you can add in multiple headlines and descriptions and kind of see, like, Google's going to play around with which ones convert the most people to click onto your website. And this is another reason why I love Google Ads so much instead of you know, like meta ads, because there's a lot less variables. With meta ads, you have to like create ad graphics and ad copy, and there's just like you could test like 5 different ad graphics and they could all kind of suck, whereas this is just simple text, and you can play around with the text a little bit, but for the most part, you want to be very specific and kind of call out that, like, hey, this girl's a New Hampshire elopement photographer, and she's for the dog obsessed couples. Let's adventure together. I work in the White Mountains and Acadia National Park. Like, it's very specific. So somebody's going to see this ad and either be like, that's exactly what I want, and click on it, in which case you will be charged for that click, or they're going to go past it and not click on it, in which case you aren't charged, which is another cool thing, that you're not being charged just for impressions. So you want a compelling headline, a short description, the right keywords. And again, you'll be right on the top of people's search results as they're trying to find services. The headline is the first thing people are going to see. You really want it to kind of call out the location that you serve and what you do. This needs to be as closely related to your keywords as possible. And then your description is where you can be a little bit more unique and add more descriptive terms and adjectives and detail and stuff like that. So Vanessa, this was her ad. She okayed me saying all this stuff about her. So I helped her basically go from, getting no bookings to completely booking out 2024 because of her Google Ads, which she started just this past January. So she by April had to turn off her ads because she was getting so many inquiries, and she was able to hit 6 figures this year. Literally just went from 0 to 6 figures because of her ads. She bought her dream car. It's a 4Runner. She quit her job. She paid off her debt. She even got off her depression medications, which was amazing for her. And then she planned her dream honeymoon. Like, literally her life was changed. And she's always telling me to use her as an example because of how life-changing everything was. So step 4 is refine. And this is where it's really important to basically keep an eye on your ads and make sure that you're refining and optimizing over time. As your ad runs, you're going to gather a lot of data, and it's going to be data on your keywords, on your copy, and you're going to want to use this data to improve your ad so that it becomes even cheaper and that your return on investment gets even better over time. And and this is really also the stage that can be the most difficult, but it's also the most rewarding once you get the hang of it. So the things that you want to improve over time is your cost per click. You want it to be right around $1. So every time someone clicks on your ad and onto your website, you're spending about $1. And that, it might go up to $2 or so, but a lot of locations and places and people that I've helped, it's right around the $1. So there's ways to improve that over time through refining your ad. Your click-through rate is also like how many people see your ad and click on it. And you want that to be about 10% or higher. If it's lower than your keywords, there's like some mismatch between your keywords that you're targeting and your headline and your description. So you'd need to kind of fiddle around with that. You also want to improve your website conversion. So you want about 1% of your website clicks. So 1% of the people who click onto your website are going to inquire with you. And if you're not getting that 1%, that means your website needs improvement. And then over time, you'll need to put in some negative keywords, like Google is going to try showing your ad to some random stuff too, but it might be something like cheap wedding photographer. So you need to go in there and basically be like, no, Google, don't show my ad to cheap wedding photo people who are searching for cheap wedding photographers. And then your budget, like you might need to increase it or decrease it or play around with it. So these are all the things that you'll want to improve over time as you're running your ad. And it gets easier over time. And then like once you really get it down, it's something that needs very, very little maintenance to continue bringing in consistent inquiries and bookings. So we typically see like a 17 to 25 times return on investment with Google Ads. And with Jen, that was more like 30 times. So these are huge amounts, A lot of people are spending about 15 bucks a day, which again sounds crazy, but then when you book, $6,000 worth of stuff that month, it makes it all worth it. It makes all that scary feeling of, throwing your money away, like it makes it worth it. And you'll never want to turn your Google ads off, even when you start getting a lot of organic traffic. And you'll use numbers and data to refine your ad over time. Again, my goal is always to get the highest return on investment or highest return on ad spend, ROAS, as possible. And that's where a lot of this refinement comes in. So that's my framework. You identify who you want to work with, you attract them through your website, you launch your ad, and then you refine it over time. And then the question becomes, do you want to make it fast and easy on yourself, or do you want to DIY it? And all of the folks that I've shown here as testimonials have gone through my program. So I'm going to start telling you about it because it's amazing. So I have Adventures in Google Ads is my course. It is self-paced, it's fluff-free, you can do it in a day, and it's for elopement and wedding photographers that are ready to stop hustling on social media and start booking out their calendar kind of on autopilot by being on the first page of Google without having to know SEO. And it has 5 modules in it, which really goes over the 4 steps that we covered, just a lot more in depth and with help. So module 1 is understanding your target market. We go over Google Ads basics. I provide you with a target market worksheet, so you can really kind of, get into the mind of who you want to work with and how you are going to attract them. Module 2 is keyword research and selection. So I'm going to introduce you to some tools, but I also just want you to kind of think, like it's called Adventures in Google Ads, not perfection in Google Ads. So I want you to play around with this and kind of intuitively use keywords, but I will also introduce you to some ways to research keywords, and then understand what people are searching for so that they can find you at the top of those search results. And then I give you my successful keyword worksheet to do that. Module 3, I give you a whole outline for landing pages that convert. Again, I want your website to do a lot of the selling for you. I want you to get on inquiry calls with couples that already trust you and are ready to book with you. And that's what having a landing page that builds trust and has social proof and all those things. So I want it to, basically convert people at that 1% or even 2%. And then the step-by-step Google Ads campaign setup is module 4. And I go further into like what you want to like budget for and how to do your bidding. And then the most important, I think, is module 5, which is the long-term management and optimization. Again, this is why I don't just do a step-by-step of here's how to do a campaign, because I want you to understand how to improve your cost per click, how to improve your optimization score. It sounds scary, but it gets to be really easy and straightforward once you get the hang of it. So and I know I told you before that if you join, you'd be able to choose one of these fast acting bonuses, but I'm actually going to give you all 3. So you get all 3 of these And my Price It Right is $497 value. You get it for free. Again, it goes through my 3-tier pricing strategy. And this is what I've used to help people raise their prices over time as they get more inquiries and more bookings. It also tells you exactly what you should be pricing to be making 50% profit in your business. So this is a game changer for a lot of folks who are like, I don't know how to present my pricing or what packages I should do, or how to raise my prices. Like, this takes all the guesswork out of that. And then my F the Algorithm challenge. Again, this is going to show you how to kind of like nurture people on social media in a way that makes it fun again, where you can just enjoy yourself on there, knowing that people are finding you on Google, and then maybe going over to Instagram just to like check out your stories and connect with you on a deeper level. This will teach you what to do on Instagram while you're running your ads. And then my sales call script, again, is learning exactly what you should do on a sales call, what questions you should ask, how to communicate your value, how to upsell your packages without feeling salesy. It includes a bunch of questions to ask, and also it includes my email templates so that you can just plug those into Calendly or Honeybook or something and automatically send out emails to remind people about the call so that you don't get a no-call, no-show. And then you will also get, this is really why I'm plugging my program, because you get me and Jessica and Brittany, 2 of the people who have been running Google Ads for all these years, and you get a Slack group forever. You get an invite into it, lifetime access, and this is where you can get in touch with me and my support coaches Monday through Friday to help you with your worksheets, help you with the optimization of your ads and your refinement, and even your landing pages and stuff like that. So we are here to help you, again, get the biggest return on ad spend that you can running these ads. And then we've also added in monthly group coaching calls. So if you want to show up live, we are happy to get on there live with you and, troubleshoot, optimize, see, like, look at your numbers, make sure that everything is converting the way that it should be. And again, you get lifetime access to that. So yeah. So some more testimonials I want to share with you. This photographer was doing really well in Colorado, and then she moved to Georgia, and she had to get bookings quick. Like, you can't just wait a year. You need to make income. So she started my Google Ads strategy from Adventures in Google Ads, and she booked 20K worth of local weddings in 4 weeks. And those were all 85% were from Google. And she was getting inquiries almost daily. And then this photographer was very hesitant to join Adventures in Google Ads, but she did. And she started booking out Moab elopements like crazy. And she made 30K in 2 months. And then this one she started running her Google Ads. She booked another 8-hour elopement after raising prices. And so she had, she booked out her 7th elopement with Google Ads. And I'm going to go over more of these people because Hannah here, she might be, the screenshot with the ad that you might have seen. She made $46,000 in just the last few months. She was also hesitant to join Adventures in Google Ads because I know a lot of people, you invest in education, and not only are you investing in a program, but I'm asking you to invest in Google Ads. But she really went from struggling to completely booking out her year. Erica here, she booked out 2024 with Adventures in Google Ads. She only booked like $7,000 worth of stuff last year. And that was after investing $8,000 in a brand new website. She had what she called was like her worst booking year last year in her entire career. And she's been shooting elopements and weddings forever. And then this year she hit all of her financial goals, booked out all of 2024. And she didn't quite hit 6 figures, but she made her financial goal for the year. And I think she's booked like 5 things for 2025. Jenny here. I just, hung out with her in Telluride. We got some drinks together. And she said that, she's invested in a lot of different courses. She felt like she was at a stage in her business where she just wasn't growing fast enough for her to be able to like quit her job and all that stuff. And then once she invested in Adventures in Google Ads, she's had a huge return on investment booking elopements and weddings in Colorado. And then Ashley, I want to mention, she wanted to book internationally in Scotland. And so she used my landing page outline, used vacation photos, and ran a Google ad and got her first booking internationally with that. And I've helped God, probably like 7 photographers at this point book Iceland elopements because of Google Ads. So you can definitely utilize them to target certain locations and destinations and stuff like that as well. And I'm going to start a timer soon, and I'm going to answer questions for 15 minutes. And during that 15 minutes, if you join Adventures in Google Ads, you're going to get a free one-on-one call with one of my support coaches, and they're going to help you set up your ad live. So they're going to help you put everything in there, all the keywords, all the right stuff, so you know from the second you start running it that it's good to go. So that's just for the folks here that are joining me live and are ready to freaking do this already. Some of you have been like, when can I join? And so here it is. So yeah, so now I am going to, oh, here's my little guys. This is everything you get between the self-paced course, the bonuses, the Slack group, and the group coaching call. It's really like a $6,000 value that you're getting for $997, and I've made payments of $333 for 3 payments, if that makes it easier for you. Again, you can DIY this stuff, or you can join us in the program and let us help you. So I'm gonna go to the chat and answer some questions. So Oh, hi, Raphael. Malachi, totally agree about the Google reps. They don't quite understand the niche of weddings and elopements. Oh, I love that you're here, Malachi. Yeah, pit bulls are the best. Animals are incredible. How can this program work for portrait photographers? So there really isn't anybody out there that I think is doing Google Ads for portrait photographers. So I've been collecting data for 3 years for elopements and weddings. So I have that down for a science. So it would be a little bit experimental for the portrait photographers, but they're searching for engagement photographers. They're searching for maternity, newborn. So it can absolutely work for anybody, I would have to think, and I would love to work with some people that are not elopement and wedding photographers and start helping people in other niches because yeah, I mean, if I wanted a family photographer, the first thing I'm going to do is go into Google and be like family photographer in Taos, New Mexico, So, and again, you don't get charged anything until somebody clicks on your website. So it's pretty, not foolproof, but pretty like, what's it called? Like you're just not charged unless somebody goes to that keyword and then sees your website and then clicks on it. So it's kind of not risk-free, but almost. Can this work for photographers looking to get into premium and luxury space? Yes. So with Google Ads, you can really up your prices. A lot of my most successful folks are booking elopements and weddings in like the $8,000 range, $9,000 range. So increasing that website traffic is going to open up your business to all these new people. And there are absolutely people out there who want to invest in a luxury experience, and they are on Google. Let's see. Can you talk about your experiences either with yourself or with clients who already had high-ranking pages and their experience with Google Ads, or is most of the improvement you're seeing from folks who may not already be on page 1? That's a great question, Molly. So Even the people who are on page one still benefit from running ads. Like my whole thing is like, let's run the ads and then phase them out as you get more and more organic traffic. But what I'm finding is that people don't want to phase out their ads. Because if you think about it, the more a couple sees your name pop up with all the things that they're Googling, they see it over and over and over again. That's called like omnipresence. And that is going to draw them to you. And so even if you are on the first page for some things and not others, having a Google Ads strategy can just give you that extra boost that you need to either raise your prices up into like a lot higher numbers or or just kind of boost your inquiries and bookings altogether. So a lot of my most successful folks who are like profiting 100K a year, they still have Google Ads running in the background. They turn them off if they're just getting overwhelmed with inquiries, but a lot of them still keep them going. Um, okay. Let's see. I'm a maternity and newborn photographer, very interested in the program. Awesome. I run ads now and I'm spending 350 to 400 a month with very few inquiries from it, but 98% of my bookings come from Google. My clients typically spend about, I just need more inquiries with this program. I would love to get into your Google ads and see how we could improve that. Like if you are getting very few inquiries, like I think with 350 to 400 a month, there's got to be some ways that we can look at your funnel from the keywords you're targeting to your headlines and descriptions to your landing pages and see where the disconnect is and fix it. That's kind of what I love to do. Let's see. How can we sign up? We got my husband Todd is dropping the click or the link. What about cinematographers? So that is a great question. So absolutely, again, like if you are targeting like wedding videographer in Denver or something like that, and it's very specific, the only people who are going to see your ad and click on it and then you be charged that dollar are the people who are actively searching for videographers, filmmakers, cinematographers, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it can absolutely work for videographers as well. One of the other things that I really like to help boost videography bookings is kind of teaming up with photographers, but it can be a great resource to get extra bookings from people who are looking for videographers. Let's see, ads to run. Okay, yeah, so what do you recommend setting? So you'll want to set up your Google ad directly through ads.google.com. Yeah, family and maternity, people are Googling that stuff. I would love to get more into helping those types of people. Natalia's asking, could this work for a beginner that does not have many pics to show? Yes and no. I mean, I want your website to be able to convert, but like getting more eyes on your website is going to do nothing but help you, you know? Like that's really what it comes down to. When you're a brand new person and you don't have anybody seeing your website, you know, you have like 20 website clicks a month or 50 or even 100. That's just not enough to have a successful business. So you can't even get the momentum going, you know? So I've certainly used Google Ads with people who are more established and newer folks. My only concern with the newer folks is sometimes there's still like some major website rehauling or portfolio building that needs to be done. So you kind of have to like say, okay, am I going to run my Google Ads and then build my portfolio or do it the opposite? I could make I could say either, like I could make an argument for either. Can you explain a bit more about the charge per click? Yeah, so essentially you set your budget to whatever you need as far as website traffic goes, normally $15 a day or above. And then you don't get charged until somebody actually clicks on your link and goes to your website, which is the cool part. And so if the cost per click is around $1, then that's 15 website visits a day that you'll get with that budget, which is like 450 a month. And then if your website converts at about 1%, that should be like 4, 5, maybe 6 inquiries a month. So yeah, it's just cool that you can look and see, okay, which keywords are really expensive or something. Sometimes some keywords are like $3 or $4 per click for whatever reason, and they eat up your budget. So then you can get rid of that. So, so really getting it down to more where $1 equals one website visitor, and then kind of figuring out how many website visitors you need to get the amount of inquiries and bookings that you need. Like that's where you get into the refinement and optimization and understanding your numbers. Is there a coupon code? I'm not doing a coupon code this time around because I'm offering all these bonuses, and we've added in the monthly Google ads. So Adventures in Google Ads will never be cheaper than the $9.97. I might actually start increasing it because I don't want to fill the market with people running Google ads and then have Google ads become more expensive for us. So I'm really going to kind of like keep the price, limit how many I sell. I'm not going to do any more discounts. This program has been so life-changing for people that if anything, I feel like I should charge more for it. I'd also love to hear more about how one-on-one hands-on you are with those in the course. Yeah, so if you've joined before this timer goes down, you will get a one-on-one call. Otherwise, you get the Slack group and our group coaching call. Even though we have quite a bit of people in the Slack group, it's not super busy in there, so you can get all the one-on-one kind of, questions and answers in there from me and my team, and then also on the phone calls. And then, yeah, if you book within, I think we've got 4 minutes now, then you get that extra one, like that actual one-on-one call to set up your ads together with a support coach to make sure that you are not messing anything up, everything is good to go, and you start at the best footing that you can. Let's see, any recommendations on how to build your portfolio to get your website going? Yes, so building your portfolio, I recommend setting up your own styled shoots, and that way you can really speak to your ideal couples, and you get experience with logistics and lighting and all that kind of stuff in kind of like a no pressure situation. And it'll end up being cheaper than if you like join a workshop or something. Now, I do offer workshops and I love workshops, but I think doing your own styled shoots can be really great. And should I connect my Google ads to my homepage or an elopement sales page? So it kind of depends on if the couples you are trying to target with your ad and your keywords, if they go to your homepage, does it still speak to them? With elopements, a lot of times everything is like location specific. So if I'm targeting Colorado elopement couples and then they go to a page that's kind of a mismatch of all kinds of stuff, like I would create a landing page that is specific to Colorado and have them go to that page. So it's speaking very directly to you. How many different ads do you suggest running at one time? I recommend running one at first so you can get the hang of it and get hang of the optimization and understanding the numbers. And then you can start running as many ads as you want. I know people who run ads to Colorado, to Oregon, to Iceland all at once. I know people who do like Michigan and Hawaii. So they kind of separate out depending on who they're trying to talk to. And they get really specific. And so they run the very specific ad to the specific landing page. But I always want people to basically like start with one and get the hang of it, and then you can add more. And then you can also kind of like turn one off while one's running, adjust budgets a little bit depending on how much you want to book here and there, or if you want to do boudoir and elopements or weddings and families or something like that. Just signed up. Oh, yay! Oh, so many of you signed up. Oh, I love that. Do you run ads to landing page or do you also run ads to informational blog posts? So I run ads to landing pages. Sometimes I will target like how to elope in Moab in as one of my keywords, and it'll go to the landing page that also has those blog posts featured on there. So I'd run like a Moab ad to a Moab landing page, and then that landing page is going to have all Moab photos, Moab blogs, and Moab elopements on there. Um, cool. Oh my gosh. Any last questions? I have 1 minute left, you guys, and I'm so excited some of you joined. Like, I literally can't wait to work with you guys. So we will, once you go through, or I will reach out to everybody to do the one-on-one call. I want you guys to do parts of the course and basically have some worksheets ready for us when we do the one-on-one call. So everybody who just signed up, I will be in touch with you. You will have gotten immediate access to Adventures in Google Ads. We will be manually adding the extra bonuses to your accounts. So keep an eye out for that. Todd is going to be doing that. And then we will be getting in touch with you to book the one-on-one call. We just want you to have some worksheets done first, and I will explain all of that to you guys. So yay, I'm so glad we did this. I'm glad you guys joined. I can't wait to help you. You guys have just changed your lives. I want you joining this and knowing that you are absolutely empowered to run these ads. We're going to make sure that you get a crazy return on investment. We're going to kick butt. 2025 is going to be your best year ever. And I'm just so happy to work with you soon. And I can't wait. I will talk to you soon. I'll see you guys in Adventures in Google Ads. And am I hosting another webinar like this soon? I don't have plans for it yet, but I'm hosting stuff. I host stuff all the time. So definitely keep an eye out. So, okay, bye guys. It was so good. I'm so glad you're here.